the answers are not very specific to the context of the question. The conclusions to the questions most of the times are very vague. See, sometimes the students repeat or they write the question itself in the conclusion. Since you're not getting evaluated or not getting a feedback about it, you're going to do the same mistake again tomorrow, and you will do the same mistake day after tomorrow. So essentially you're not improving at all. Hello everyone, welcome to Akka IAS Academy. Today I'm here to present to you our daily answer writing program called E.A.S.E. As all of you know, without the skill of answer writing, it is essentially very difficult to clear the UPSC Mains examination. So in the process of answer writing, students face many challenges. While writing an answer, students usually have the problem of structuring an answer according to the context of the question. So in our program, we are going to work on all these issues. So, and then while writing an introduction, most of the students, they either miss the keyword asked in the question, or their introduction is not relevant to the question, or it is not attractive. And then in the presentation of the body, there are usually missing subheadings, or they don't use keywords or underline the keywords. They don't use data and examples to substantiate their answers. And most of the times, this is a major issue. The answers are not very specific to the context of the question. Students write very general answers. These kind of answers don't fetch marks. And then one very important issue is poor time management. In UPSC, generally there are 10-marker questions and 15-marker questions. For a 10-marker questions, you have to complete the answer within 7 minutes. And then for a 15-marker, you have to complete within 11 minutes. But most of the times, students are not able to do that because they would not have practiced answer writing. So they start to think about the question in the examination hall itself, and they're not able to finish answering that question within the set time. So what happens is they tend to miss, or they tend to leave out 3 or 4 questions in the end. So in UPSC, since UPSC is very competitive, when they miss those 2 or 3 questions, they're essentially out of the list, because those questions ultimately decide the cutoff. So because if people miss those questions, so they tend to be out of that cutoff list. And then the conclusions to the questions most of the times are very vague. See, sometimes the students repeat or they write the question itself in the conclusion. Usually the conclusions have to be solution oriented. Okay. And there are other challenges as well students face while answer writing. One of the main thing is, see, these days, many UPSC websites and all, they give questions every day. So students choose 2 or 3 questions every day and write answers to them. But the issue is, they are practicing the questions, but then there is nobody to evaluate and give feedback. So there is a quote by Einstein that you are doing the same thing over and over again, but then expecting a different result. That doesn't happen here, because see, if you are doing some mistake today, since you're not getting evaluated or not getting a feedback about it, you're going to do the same mistake again tomorrow, and you will do the same mistake day after tomorrow. So essentially you're not improving at all. So that is the issue. And then this is one of the major issue. Most of the students, they're not writing answers, or they wait to finish the syllabus because they want to write a perfect answer. See, there is nothing called perfection here. Because if you wait to write a perfect answer, you will never start writing at all. So once you start writing, you'll get to know what are the issues I'm facing, how I can correct them. You'll get feedback, you'll correct in the next answer writing session. So over a period of time, you'll start to improve your answer writing. So that is the way to do it actually. Not waiting for, finishing the syllabus and then I'll write a perfect answer since I know everything. That doesn't happen at all. Okay. And then one another issue is basically sometimes you join test series and all, the syllabus will be very vast. So basically you kind of don't finish the syllabus within the set time frame. So you procrastinate. You'll be thinking, okay, there are 2 more, 3 more extension days are there. So I'll write the test later. But then the later never comes. So this happens. And then there is initial inertia to write answers. Because initially many students don't know how to start writing an answer. So they have that inertia to write. See, there is a quote by Rumi which says, as you start to walk on the way appears. So clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. So once you start writing an answer, you will get to know slowly how to write. Then you can slowly improve your writing. If you don't start at all, you'll never know how to write. You'll always be thinking, after a period of time, I'll finish the syllabus, I'll write. Later I'll write. So it will never happen. Okay. And then one important issue, this is a very common issue in UPSC field, is lack of consistency and discipline. One day people feel like studying. They study for 12 hours a day. Next day maybe they'll not be feeling so much. They'll study 3-4 hours a day. The third day probably they'll never study at all. See, so basically if you're not consistent and disciplined, it is very, very difficult to clear this exam. There is a legendary swimmer called Michael Phelps. If you can watch his video on YouTube, he says that he has been consistent for 5 to 6 years, never missing even a single day, whether it was his birthday, Christmas, any function. He was at the pool. And he has won 23 Olympic gold medals. See, that is the level of consistency you need even in UPSC. Because the competition at present is very high. So if you have to clear this exam, it is not talent which is essential, but it is the consistency and the discipline to be present there. Be there in the library, study, write an answer. So this has to be there. Okay. Next. So what happens is, since students face all these challenges, they tend to join some year-long or weekly test series, thinking that, okay, I'll follow this schedule so that my preparation will become better. But the issue with respect to these test series is, since in these test series, usually the syllabus is vast, in the sense they give inordinate amount of syllabus within a short span of time. Say, for example, in 1 week, they had to cover, say, one section of something. But then at times, students are not able to complete that. So what students do is, they tend to think, I haven't completed the syllabus. I'll complete this. After that, I'll write the test. So they tend to miss the test. And then they do this probably for 2 or 3 tests. And after that, they start to lose motivation to write those tests because the syllabus is vast and they're not able to keep up with the syllabus and the schedule of those tests. And one more issue with respect to this is, they write a test, but then the evaluated copy they get will be probably after 10 to 12 days. And within that 10 to 12 days, they would have written another test or 2 more tests. But the problem is, they would never know what the mistakes they made in the first test, so that they can correct those mistakes and apply the solution in the second or third test. So the feedback is not regular. So they tend to make the same mistakes again and again in different tests. Okay. So these are the issues when you join, year-long or monthly test series. These issues are faced by students. So keeping all these things in mind, we have brought this daily mains answer writing program. We have curated the program in such a way that we have divided the syllabus into small compartments. So students are able to easily complete those syllabus every day. So once you complete the syllabus of the day, you can write a test. The test will be usually 4 questions. That's it. You'll write 4 questions and you will be evaluated that day itself. So within 24 hours, you're going to get the feedback. So based on the feedback, you're going to implement those things in your next answer writing session. So incrementally, you will progress in your answer writing. So that's why daily answer writing program is much better as compared to other year-long test series or so initially. But once you complete this daily answer writing, you'll be very skillful in answer writing. After that, you can start writing daily or year-long test series. So initially you do this so that you become adept at the skill of answer writing. And then see, this program is based on a compounding effect. Compounding effect is you are doing small progresses every day. So in the end, these small progresses will lead to big success. Okay, so that is compounding effect. And then once you start to write, finish the syllabus, sit in the library, study, and then finish the syllabus, write every day, this builds an habit. Once this becomes an habit, it is easy for you to, finish your syllabus again and again, prepare well, and this becomes very helpful in clearing the exam. And then you're getting everyday feedback. So you'll be improving every day. Okay. And then basically through this program, your discipline and consistency builds because you're doing every day. You're writing the test every day. And the syllabus is very small. So you can easily complete. So this is our program. The features of our program. So we are going to give you 4 questions every day. And the evaluation will be done within 1 day itself. And then we'll also give you the synopsis for those questions, which will be curated. We are not going to dump everything into the synopsis. We'll tell you how much to write, what to write, how to write. We'll also conduct a discussion class after each test. So you'll get to know what should have been there. And then we'll give you feedback and all. So in case you have any issues, you can come to us, talk to our mentors. You'll get to know. So basically, we are going to cover the UPSC syllabus within 60 days. So if you are giving mains, say in 2026, you'll have to finish the main syllabus at least twice before December. So with this program, you'll cover your syllabus by October 1st. So after that, you can again finish your syllabus one more time. So after your prelims, once you clear your prelim examination, you'll have 70 to 80 days for the mains. So you'll be able to write as many tests as possible and revise, write, because you would have finished the syllabus twice here. So this becomes very, very easy for you for the mains examination. And then there'll be a discussion class after each test. And this will be helpful for both UPSC and KAS exams because answer writing is very essential in both the examinations. And then we'll also provide you tips on how to make notes, how to structure your notes for revision, all those things. Okay, so in case you want to join a program or connect to our mentors and need to know more about the program, you can call on these numbers and you'll get all the details. Thank you.